So you're a great coder. You love that feeling of shipping a perfect feature, of just getting lost in a complex problem and finally cracking it. But then the question comes. Maybe it's from your boss. Maybe it's a little voice in your own head asking, hey, have you ever thought about management? And just like that, your career path splits right in two. Today, we're diving into the absolute essential roadmap for that journey, Camille Fournier's The Manager's Path.
Okay, let's get right into it because this is the fundamental conflict, isn't it? You've spent years getting really, really good at your craft, building incredible things with your own two hands. And the idea of giving that up, trading your keyboard for a calendar that's just packed with meetings, it can feel like you're losing a piece of your identity. But what if management isn't about giving up your craft, but about amplifying it through other people? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today.
And this book right here is our guide. Fournier lays out the entire career ladder, from those first shaky steps as a tech lead all the way up to the CTO's office. And look, this is not some generic business school textbook. It's written by an engineer for engineers. It gets the unique challenges that come with leading technical teams.
So how does this whole journey usually start?
Well, it's rarely with some grand master plan. More often than not, it's kind of by accident. You're a senior engineer, the team respects you, and one day your manager taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, can you be the tech lead for this next project? And right there, whether you even realize it or not, you've just taken your first step onto the manager's path.
Now, the book makes a really crucial distinction right at the beginning. Being a tech lead is not just a promotion for the best coder on the team. It is a fundamentally different role. Think of it as a test run for leadership. You're still shipping code, for sure, but your main job is now to influence your peers, to get the team aligned, and to make sure the project succeeds. And you often have to do all of that without any formal authority to back you up. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the jarring reality of that first real management role. As a senior coder, your world is all about deep focus, about technical execution. But as a new manager, your calendar becomes a war zone. Your precious focus time just evaporates. Your job is no longer to have the best ideas, but to create an environment where your team can have the best ideas. It's a seismic shift. Okay, so you've made the leap. Your calendar's a mess. You feel like you're not actually doing anything anymore. How do you survive? Well, Fournier argues you need a new superpower. And there's one tool that is absolutely 100% non-negotiable, the one-on-one meeting.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not a status update. If you were just asking, so what are you working on? You are wasting everyone's time. I mean, that's what Slack and Jira are for, right? This meeting is your dedicated, private channel for the real work of management. It's where you build the relationship that literally everything else depends on.
The book boils it all down to these two simple but absolutely vital functions. First, you connect on a human level. You get to know your team members as people. What are their career goals? What's frustrating them? What's going on in their lives? And second, you create a safe space to talk about the important stuff that just doesn't fit into a public channel. This is where real feedback is exchanged and where you solve problems before they blow up into crises.
And here's the ultimate payoff for all that work. It all leads to trust. You simply cannot lead a team that doesn't trust you. You can't give difficult feedback. You can't ask someone to tackle a really hard project if you don't have that foundation of trust. That human connection you build in your one-on-ones, that is the bedrock of a healthy, high-performing team. And believe me, you are going to need that trust because things are going to get tough. The hardest part of this whole transition isn't learning to use new software or figuring out how to run a meeting. It's the messy, complicated, and emotionally draining work of managing actual human beings. This quote, which Fournier highlights in the book, is such a critical reality check. You might have been a 10x engineer, a true senior on the technical track, but the day you become a manager, you're a rookie. You are literally starting a brand new career from level 1, and a little bit of humility goes a very, very long way. And this is the stuff they don't put in the job description. It's telling a kind person their work isn't good enough. It's mediating a conflict between two people you really respect. It's being the one who has to stay calm and confident when a big project gets canceled. This is the invisible labor of leadership, and the emotional weight of it is real. This right here is the single biggest mental shift you have to make. Your success is no longer measured by the lines of code you write. It's measured by the success of your people. Your job is to be a force multiplier, to create an environment where every single person on your team can do the absolute best work of their career.
So what happens if you stick with it? If you keep climbing that ladder? Well, the job changes completely all over again. You start to zoom out from the day-to-day tactics of a single team and into the wide open space of long-term strategy.
I mean, just look at this contrast. As a team manager, you're focused on the health and execution of your immediate team. But as a senior leader, a CTO, you're thinking about the entire system. Are we hiring the right kinds of people? Is our architecture going to set us up for success in 3 years? Are we building a culture of innovation or a culture of stagnation? You're no longer just playing the game, you are designing the entire game board. And this is really the end point of the path. At the highest levels, your product is the organization. Your job is to architect the systems, both the human ones and the technical ones, that empower hundreds of other engineers to thrive. You've basically traded your code editor for an org chart, a strategy doc, and a cultural blueprint.
And that brings us right back to that fork in the road. And look, neither path is inherently better, but they are profoundly different. One is a path of personal creation, of deep craft. The other is a path of enabling creation at a massive scale. The manager's path doesn't tell you which one to choose, but it gives you an honest, clear-eyed map of exactly where each one leads.
I really hope this helps you navigate your own path. For more deep dives into the big ideas that can shape your work and your life, make sure you subscribe to Lazy Reader to master your career.